Imagine a silence so absolute that falling dust becomes the loudest witness. In the early 1930s, inside a shadowed attic, a detective kneels. He lifts a rough floorboard and light catches on the splinters. Below, the nail scars on the wood align perfectly with a homemade ladder, grain for grain. The first glance suggested a random break-in. These microscopic patterns revealed a meticulous plan. This is how the smallest facts rewrite history. Technicians reconstruct movement and motive from what is left behind. Stray fibers, tool marks, nearly invisible impressions. On two victims, a smear of industrial paint spheres redirected a years-long hunt toward a single factory, a single night shift. And in the 1980s, the unique outsole of an athletic shoe, pressed into wet soil, narrowed a nationwide search to one brand and one size. Today, labs map these micro-traces against vast databases, proving that shoes, wood, and paint all carry their own distinct story. In an era of digital alibis and staged timelines, the smallest scrap of physical truth still cuts through the noise. But what if a clue makes no sound at all? What if a stray comma screams louder than a gunshot? Sometimes the most revealing evidence is hidden in plain sight. A manifesto lands on a newsroom desk, blunt paragraphs on stiff paper. Buried inside is a reversed proverb, a stubborn spelling quirk that appears like a scar. Miles away, a man hears the words on the radio and recognizes a rhythm he grew up with. Language leaves fingerprints. Cadence is a gate you cannot fake. The page becomes a map of the mind, pointing not to a street, but to a habit, and a house that never expected a knock. The same trail exists in the digital world. In a cramped lab, an analyst slides a flexible disk into a drive. The screen breathes green, and a single document opens. With it appears an embedded name, tied to a church registration list that quietly narrows an entire city down to one person. He believed his words would cloak him, but the metadata handed over the keys. And when even DNA hits a wall, investigators step sideways into family. Not a direct match, but a mosaic pieced together from distant cousins in public databases. They build a family tree outward, then inward, branch by overlapping branch, until only one trunk remains. In an age of ceaseless uploads, our lives are meticulously time-stamped. Texts mark the minute, photos mark the coordinates. Absence becomes as loud as presence. So investigators slow down. They trace a recurring phrase, a gap in a timeline, a detail in a profile we scroll right past. Because the blueprint is always there for the careful reader. Notice the offbeat idiom, the calendar hiccup, the overlooked detail that refuses to lie. The next clue is waiting in something even quieter than a footprint.